UConn add those to the victories at Northeastern, and he is quickly approaching the 500 win mark overall. And there is the most talked about thumb in the entire state of Connecticut. It belongs to Travis Knight. He had 2 screws placed in that thumb last Friday during an outpatient surgery procedure, and it seems to be working okay. And this meeting here tonight between Rutgers and Connecticut, the first ever in Big East play. And Ronnie Perry, this is a series that goes way back. In fact, these two teams played each other for 26 consecutive seasons. The last time they played there was back in 1979. Andrew Kolbasovsky cuts to the basket, and Rutgers on the board first.
Now, this is a game where Rutgers really should come out, play free and easy. Connecticut's got the winning streak. The pressure is on UConn to keep it going. Rutgers in the man-to-man. UConn was man at the other end, and the rack is alive here tonight.
Anticipating a crowd of about 8,000 as they'll whistle and call a foul away from the ball. It will go against Rutgers inside, and that's Jeff Billett will be called on a push. This is a very difficult place to play if Rutgers can keep the crowd in the game throughout the course of the night.
Well, the crowd's sort of on top of you. It's very alive and noisy in here.
Knight gets a hold of it. Jim Calhoun told you, Ronnie, before the game that with that thumb wrapped up that way, sometimes Travis is having a difficulty catching the ball.
Well, it's splinted and padded, so it can cause some trouble trying to grasp the basketball. They cut down on the padding. He's hoping that Travis can get into a flow out there and try to play with that padding on his left thumb.
Daron Sheffer watching freshman guard Jeff Billett. Scarlet Knights have been going quite a bit this season with really 3 guards out there, but tonight Albert Carner is going to be used as a reserve role. The shot clock down to 4. Billett off balance, and the rebound taken down by Knight.
Rutgers tries to work some clock. They're a perimeter team. Connecticut defends the perimeter, though, very well.
Allen steps up. Too strong, and Billett clears down the rebound. Billett looked as though he may have walked with it again. Kolbasovsky had an entry to the basket, nicely rejected by Kirk King, his 40th rejection of the season. And on the other end, Rutgers, leader in block shots. Eric Clark rejects his 28th of the year.
He got after that one. We're getting a little up and down action early. Billett kind of slows down Daron Sheffer and takes his eye off the basket, and Clark, a terrific leaper, sent it out. And Bobby Wenzel loving that one when it was sent out of there.
2 minutes gone by, and the Huskies hit their first field goal of the night. It comes from Sheffer. UConn had missed its first 4 attempts, ties the game up at 2 apiece.
Daron Sheffer, a real glue factor on this Husky squad. He's poised, he's patient, not afraid to take those jumpers.
Kolbasovsky again able to take the ball inside the paint. It rolls over the end line, and it will go to Rutgers. Travis Knight was unsure at first as to whether or not he should pursue the ball, and the late start does not allow him to touch it.
This is a game where Rutgers really needs to play that near-perfect kind of game. They've got to shoot it well. They like to take threes. Billett and Santiago, very capable from out there. They've got to play well inside. For Connecticut, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing and be solid. Everyone is gunning for them right now.
Hodgins tried to swing it back over to Eric Clark. The great hands of Daron Sheffer comes away with the steal. We're tied up at 2 apiece early on here from the Rutgers Athletic Center.
Affectionately known as the rack, which I referred to earlier, and Daron Sheffer with that steal. Just another thing he does for the Huskies. He leads the team in Big East play in that category.
Santiago trying to stay with Ray Allen. Second chance kept alive there nicely by Johnson. Batted away by Billett. This is Santiago. David Santiago gives Rutgers the lead back.
Well, you take the bounce whenever you can get it. UConn with about 4 or 5 opportunities that won't go down. And Santiago, a guy that has been finishing on the break.
High-low inside to Daron Sheffer. Second chance, and he is fouled on his way up. Well, that was kind of an oddity. We had a high-low with Knight throwing the ball down to the guard, Daron Sheffer.
And Sheffer has an uncanny ability. He's posting up Billett at 6 feet, Daron at 6'5". That ability to follow his own shot on the miss, he does that all the time. Great nose for the ball. Does so many things very productive ones for the Connecticut Huskies.
And that foul call went against freshman guard Jeff Billett of Rutgers. That is his second personal. So Billett is out of the lineup for the Scarlet Knights. Travis Knight, tough time handling it there, loses it off of his knee.
Yeah, he just didn't get a handle on that one on the dribble. Billett already on the bench, and that's a blow for Rutgers. He's been playing a lot of minutes, the freshman, and he's done a very good job. He's been averaging over 12 a game, but Karner is very capable. 6'3" senior guard.
Take a look at the numbers. You can see that UConn has come out cool. 1 of 9 from the field. Santiago looking for a 3. 5 early points for Damon Santiago, and Rutgers on top by 5, and they're going to call a foul on the Scarlet Knights. Damon Santiago, his first, and that will be the 3rd team foul against Rutgers. 15 minutes and 59 seconds remain in the opening half. Early on, the Rutgers fans like what they see. On the bench, that's Jeff Billett, freshman out of Middletown, New Jersey, considered the top player in the state of New Jersey last season as a high school senior, has picked up 2 quick fouls in his place. Albert Karner remains on the floor. He'll handle the point for the Scarlet Knights.
Well, that's 12 points on the bench. He's a 43% three-point shooter, Billett. But Al Karner, over 7 a game. He averaged 10 a game last year. Less minutes with Billett playing so well. He's got to get in there and get the job done.
Jerome Sheffer, long distance, hits the 3. His 53rd three-pointer of the season. He is second only on his team and in the Big East to Ray Allen.
Well, they're 1-2 in that category in the Big East. And Sheffer stepping up early when UConn needs it. 2-2-1 pressure by the Huskies.
To the basket, McCrimmon cannot get it to fall, and the rebound controlled by Sheffer.
Boy, his name's everywhere, isn't it? Early Sheffer is all over the place.
Moving along the baseline, Rudy Johnson is fouled by Albert Karner. 4th team foul against the Scarlet Knights, the first against Karner. Jim Calhoun now will make some substitutions as well. Rashamel Jones and Eric Hayward will come on for the Huskies.
UConn opening up this game somewhat flat with that 7-2 Rutgers lead. Rutgers all fired up. With Jim Calhoun's bench clearly deeper than the Rutgers Scarlet Knights bench. Looking for a lift right now.
Albert Karner kicks that one back into the stands. 15 minutes and 16 seconds remain here in the opening half. Jones, Allen, and Sheffer around the perimeter for UConn, and it's McCrimmon coming away with the steal. Santiago has been the go-to man on offense for Rutgers over the last 9 games. He's averaging 20 points per outing. Sheffer with the near steal, tips it, and they'll say that Karner touched it last. It will go to UConn.
To Sheffer again. Dangerous pass. Anytime you throw it cross court away from your hoop. And this is a real perimeter-oriented Rutgers team out there right now. Great start in this game for Sheffer.
Halftime at Madison Square Garden. You saw St. John's and Notre Dame going at it. And at halftime, 9th-rated Georgetown leading West Virginia by 5.
It was an overtime affair, the first time those 2 teams met.
Yeah.
Georgetown prevailing.
Sheffer, who has been very busy early on in the first 5.5 minutes, has gone to the bench. And freshman guard Ricky Moore has come in. Here's Ray Allen with a high arcing 3. Controlled there on the tip from Moore to Jones, and his shot won't fall. Hayward working the boards, and they'll call an offensive foul as Kolbasowski stands in to take the charge from Eric Hayward.
Now, UConn really cold from the outside to start this game. Rutgers is trying to encourage more perimeter shots. Kolbasowski, known as Kobo, takes the charge that time as Hayward just lowered the boom as that shoulder went down.
So Eric will take a seat. And Antrick Kleber will come on for the Huskies. Also checking in, Ruslan Inyatkin for Jimmy Calhoun's club. So Jim has right now a lineup out there with just 1 starter. That began this game 6 minutes ago, and that's a pretty good one to have out there. It's Ray Allen.
Well, he's looking for a spark, no question about it. He's gone deep into his bench, and he wants guys out there to pick up the intensity level. And, of course, Allen's out there to pick everything up.
Santiago, off balance three, not this time. The rebound taken down by Allen. Looking for his first points of the night, and Koldasovsky commits the foul as Allen goes down hard. That'll be the first against Andrew Koldasovsky. Team foul number 5 against the Knights.
It's a great job by Ray Allen. No one stops his penetration, so he tries to get it to the goal. No question about the foul. And when a couple of jumpers don't go down, get it to the basket. And as Allen's doing here, see if he can get that stroke down from the foul line.
Ray Allen, who enters tonight's game as the leader in 3 different statistical categories in the Big East, and he is in the top 13 in 4 other departments. As you can see, he comes into tonight's game riding a 52-game streak of consecutive double-figure performances.
I'd have to say, every night that Ray Allen laces him up, he's extremely productive. Great press this time by UConn.
From Santiago, and too hot to handle for Jason Morange, the freshman out of Houston, and the turnover will give it back over to the Huskies.
That was a bullet pass, but you've got to have your hands ready when the backcourt people penetrate.
Travis Knight will come back on, and Yatkin and Ray Allen will both take a seat as Jerome Sheffer checks back in. Turnover situation right now even at 3 apiece. Tied up at 7-all as we approach the 13-minute mark.
Little zone this time by Rutgers. 2-3. Look to match up out of it. Again, they're trying to get good rebounding position inside to see if they can force UConn into the jump shot.
Travis Knight's shot is short. Koldasovsky takes down another rebound.
Strategy worked that time.
Scarlet Knights looking to take the lead back.
The other thing Rutgers is doing, Tony, is they're looking at the clock. Going to take 15 seconds off, 20 seconds. They're going to have to hit jump shots, though.
Koldasovsky, bad miss on the 3. So bad it surprised Travis Knight. He tried to come up with it as he saw that it was not going to touch the rim, and he knocks it out of bounds.
And the shot clock, of course, does not get reset when you don't hit the rim, and it's at 16.
And a pushing foul will be called against Travis Knight as he tried to get position prior to the inbounds pass. That will be his first personal, and the second team foul against the Huskies.
UConn's a team that generates so much off of its defense. This is where they need to pick their game up. Start denying Rutgers and look to get out and run.
Inside, Billy Gilligan is fouled on his way up. Klaber will pick up the foul.
Good job getting it inside this time. Billy Gilligan is a backcourt player, but he's 6'5". Does a nice job there to just hang in the air, get Klaber to commit and bump, and get himself to the foul line as well as stop the clock.
Ray Allen so far tonight held without a field goal with 7.5 minutes gone by. Billy Gilligan is not what you would call a typical freshman when it comes to shooting the basketball. He will fire it up from distance. 25, 30 feet, he will not hesitate.
He loves the 3. He's got an excellent stroke, the young player. Against West Virginia recently, he had 15 points and didn't get any 3s, so that was a boost for his confidence, penetrating to the basket.
Couple of foul shots gives Rutgers the lead back.
UConn's got to look to penetrate, try to find some cracks in the seam against this zone, and pound the backboards for some second chances.
Off to the weak side, Allen for 3. Shepard keeping it alive, but Koldasovsky steals it away. Now Santiago out to Gilligan.
Now you've got to give Rutgers credit right now. They're getting the loose balls, and they're frustrating UConn right now with what's starting to become a pretty tightly packed 2-3.
Bobby Wenzel turned around at the fans there as his team set up on defense and said, come on, stand up, make some noise. They're doing that. Sheffer will try to quiet them.
There he is again with the rebound.
Moran knocks it out of bounds, and it will stay with UConn. We've got a timeout here at the Rutgers Athletic Center. An emotional start for the Scarlet Knights. Back after these messages from your local station.
I'm Casey Kasem with your Ford dealer's #1 hit. Escort, Explorer, Ranger, Taurus, and F-Series.
The last 2 games. Talk about a way to get yourself ready for the tournament. They've got Georgetown and Villanova.
Should make for an exciting finish before the Big East tournament.
1 out of 2 for Kirk King. Albert Carner will handle the point and they'll call the hand check foul. Out front, much to the delight of the Rutgers crowd here against Rudy Johnson. Fourth team foul against the Huskies. 9:08 remains here in the opening half.
The kind of night for UConn where you need someone to ignite you. They usually get it from Ray Allen, Jerome Shepard. They've got to do it with their D. And Rutgers just keep with this game plan. Stay right in the thick of it, but make those efficient shots. Get the open ones at the offensive end.
Mismatch here as Hayward goes out to watch Billett. Hodgson, his shot won't fall. Second chance, and it will go off of Hodgson. UConn will take it back.
Rutgers stays with this 2-3 zone, and they might as well until Connecticut starts to hit some perimeter shots. For UConn, make sure you bang the backboards after a couple of good swings of the basketball.
Allen delays and hits. 7 points here for Ray Allen as UConn takes the lead by 4. Scarlet Knights looking for some offense. They have gone over 4 minutes now without scoring a point.
Not looking to attack much against these pressure leaders. Just break it and get down and work the clock.
Nice defensive work there by Hayward as he steals the pass. Johnson, good look for Travis Knight. First 2 of the night for the senior from Sandy, Utah. And UConn takes its largest lead at 6. Bob Wenzel is going to call a 22nd timeout here. His team had controlled the momentum early on, but now UConn's starting to get a little bit of a flow going. They lead it by 6. Well, Rutgers comes into tonight's game 5-11 on the season, but if you take a look at it, game by game, 7 of those 11 losses have come by 9 points or less. Bob Wenzel's team has had a lot of close calls.
They really have, and they've obviously been on the wrong end of a lot of those games. Bob Wenzel really trying to fire his team up in this timeout, trying to get him to keep the momentum as UConn pulls out in front. But it's a club that's been in a lot of games. They've got some young ball players, some players that haven't played together a lot. And he's hoping that they can start to turn the corner with a major upset here at home tonight.
Inside of 8 minutes to play in the opening half, Rutgers now has gone 4.5 minutes without scoring a point. Allen with those quick hands takes it away from Hodgson.
Well, Hodgson's had a couple of tough trips down the floor with that theft that time.
Carner takes down the rebound off the miss there from Ricky Moore. Hodgson with a good look. The basket and a foul will be called against Rudy Johnson.
Hey, give him credit, huh? A couple of plays don't go well last couple of times down the floor, but Hodgson, talked about him at the beginning of the game, the transfer from Indiana. Nice follow through there. He's very fundamentally sound, and he did not play until mid-December after transferring, and it does take a while for anyone who's had to sit out that length of time after transferring to get back into the flow of the game, particularly at this level.
Rob Hodgson played for his dad in his senior year in high school. He finished up as the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the history of New York State. Kenny Anderson was one of the guys that finished up with a few more points than Hodgson. He finishes off the three-point line to salute this agent of the game. It's Thomas Lennon of Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. For home, auto, business, or life insurance, Nationwide is on your side. Tony Caridi along with Ron Perry here from the Rutgers Athletic Center. UConn has made 5 of its last 6 attempts. Travis Knight on the offensive glass with his 2nd field goal of the evening.
As UConn starting to pound the boards, Eric Hayward did a nice job to keep that alive. UConn suddenly starting to get into some kind of rhythm offensively. Some goal-scoring first half. Rutgers has really kept the tempo of this game slow by being very patient at the offensive end.
Well, they certainly have to be happy with that. They would not want to get into a running match with the Huskies as Clark has a shot rejected by Travis Knight. With the shot clock down to 1, Carner forces And that ball never hit the rim, and so the shot clock violation will give it back to UConn.
Working the clock is okay, but Rutgers has to continue to try to find some seams against Jim Calhoun's Huskies defense, who on a very routine basis holds their opponents to under 40% shooting, and it's starting to get very hard for Rutgers to get good open shots at the offensive end.
Jerome Sheffer and Ray Allen, as they have all season long, leading the way offensively for the Huskies. They've combined to score 14 of UConn's 19 points.
Great backcourt, Sheffer and Allen.
Spotting up for three, Jerome with his second three of the night. Double figures for the senior, Jerome Sheffer, now with 10.
Well, he's more offensive-minded this year, much to Jim Calhoun's liking. He also loves to distribute the basketball.
Good look by Hodgson to the basket. He's hit back-to-back field goals. Now 5 points for Rob Hodgson.
Real lift for Rutgers if Hodgson can start to find the range from the outside. Santiago's been quiet, too. Look for him to start to look at his outside shot.
Jones works against McCrimmon. The pass over to Hayward, and he'll have the basket and the foul. The consummate role player, Eric Hayward, hits his first field goal of the night. They'll call that one against Hodgson. Eric Hayward, you know, you can only hope to have, if you're a coach, more players like that guy, as you saw in Notre Dame on top, and now Georgetown pulling away from West Virginia. But the ability of Hayward, Ronnie, does not try to force shots, goes in there, collects the rebounds. When the opportunity came there in the block, he puts the ball up and scores. Great shooter, averaging over 50% from the field this season.
And he really does. He comes in and bangs. He knows his role, which is to get rebounds for UConn and back up Travis Knight in the middle. And Kurt King, of course, has played so well this year. He's just getting more and more minutes at the power forward position.
Rutgers looking to answer back. Good look inside. McCrimmon cannot finish it. Kolbasovsky with the one-hander. He'll draw the foul.
No hesitation inside by Rutgers. At least you can't hesitate. And that first entry pass down there to Clark. Too much time. But give credit to Kolbasovsky with the aggressive follow-up to draw the personal foul. But tough for Rutgers to get much going inside. They are undersized compared to the UConn front line.
That's foul call against UConn's Eric Hayward, his second personal. And so UConn now with 6 team fouls. Rutgers already over the limit. Senior Andrew Kolbasovsky from New York City. He took Rutgers' entry into the Big East literally. He said, if we're going in the Big East, I'm going to get bigger. And so he spent the majority of the summer in the weight room, and he has added a lot of pounds and muscle. There was some question as to whether he said, hey, Andrew, are you going to lose some of your speed now that you're bigger? He said, well, let's face it, I never had any speed to lose, and so I think I'll go with the strength.
Well, he's a real competitor out there for Rutgers. He gets after it inside at 6'7".
5-minute mark of this opening half. UConn leading it by 9. Sheffer again, bombing and hitting the third three-pointer for Jerome Sheffer, now with 55 on the season.
Well, one of the reasons UConn is tough to defend as well as beat is players like Sheffer stepping up, and another play by Sheffer.
Inside to Ray Allen.
Well, UConn just has these spurts, Tony, and here we are in a game where Rutgers really had themselves right in the thing, but Rutgers stalled offensively, and UConn is really picking the pace up now at both ends of the floor. But Rutgers really needs one here. They've got to get a little bit more aggressive offensively, look for some seams, see if they can get some shots up there.
Kolbasovsky tried to squeeze it in to McCrimmon. Out ahead to Ray Allen.
Oh, nice catch, nice finish. All UConn right now.
6 consecutive field goals from the Huskies. And just like that, UConn doubles up the Scarlet Knights, 32-16. Huskies in control.
Well, Connecticut's really pulled away in this first half, 32-16 after a tight start. Daron Sheffer's been a real key. He's hit 3 threes. He's got 13 already in the first half, and he's doing it at both ends. He's the leading steal man on the team. He gets his hand on it, and check it out. He always seems to have a radar screen for Ray Allen. That prompted Rutgers after that finish to call timeout. Methodical job by Connecticut. How with this run over the past 8 minutes?
A superb performance from the combination of Sheffer and Allen. As you can see, they have scored 24 of the Huskies' 32 points. Jim Calhoun comes up with the ball, knocked out there by Rudy Johnson.
Pretty good hands by the coach there.
Not bad, not bad. He's got good size.
Had him ready. Right now, Rutgers needs a couple of baskets. They really got to try to get this thing down to 10 and be a bonus if they could get it back to single digits. And they've got to do it by getting a couple of penetrating moves to the goal. They need a conversion here.
Obisowski floats it up from 15. Travis Knight, who has not been bothered by that thumb so far, takes the rebound down. And again, Sheffer along the baseline. Knight couldn't hold on to it that time.
Yeah, great look.
Santiago, he's been quiet. To Kolbasowski, the basket, and the foul. Andrew Kolbasowski will have a chance at a three-point play.
Terrific dish and read by Damon Santiago that time. And, you know, Rutgers just needs a little bit more of this. I think this is one of the rare fast break baskets for Rutgers in the first half. They got a quick one and got it before UConn could set up their very tough half-court defensive set.
Last foul was whistled against UConn's Rudy Johnson, and so he will be forced to check out. Third personal against Rudy Johnson, as you saw Jones come back on for the Huskies. Obisowski finishes off the three-point play.
Now, this is where Rutgers really needs to bear down. They're out of the zone now, playing man-to-man. Connecticut is also a very good passing team. They assist on about 2/3 of their baskets.
Ray Allen bangs in the three. Now 14 points for Ray Allen. If you'll remember, he did not score until there were 10:45 remaining in the half, and so he has scored his 14 points over the course of 8 minutes of play. Rejected away on the other end by Ray Allen.
He's everywhere.
Sheffer again for three. And the rebound controlled by the Huskies.
Great patience by Connecticut. Get the rebound and then just reset.
Knight inside. And he is hit from behind and fouled. They'll charge that one to the Scarlet Knights. Eric Clark and Travis Knight will step up. You can see Travis is a right-handed shooter, and the injury is on the left hand. He suffered a small fracture on the bone in his thumb against Syracuse.
Well, we've seen a couple of instances in the first half where he's had trouble controlling the ball. The good news is that his shooting hand is not affected by this, but I'm noticing him flexing his fingers a lot. And the biggest thing here is just getting used to that big bandage on the thumb, which prevents the thumb from bending backward. That's got to be an awkward feeling for Travis Knight, but I think he's going at things aggressively inside.
Very much so, yeah. He knocks down both free throws and the UConn lead. Now 37-19.
UConn stays with the pressure. It's that 2-2-1, and they just stay after you.
Damon Santiago scores his 7th point. He leads Rutgers offensively. Allen tried to drop it back there. Nicely saved by Sheffer. Knight tried to poke it away. Contact, no foul call. This is Albert Carner. Nice drop pass for Eric Clark.
Rutgers getting a little bit more aggressive now with some penetrating moves, and when the defense is drawn, they're finishing. They got patient to the point earlier where they got themselves into a real lull offensively.
Key stretch in this half right now with 1 minute and 20 seconds to play. They'll call the offensive foul key stretch. Rutgers down by as many as 16 here, have trimmed the lead to 14, and they'll take the ball back.
Connecticut doesn't take themselves out of plays a lot, but there's an instance where King just pushes off. Jim Calhoun with a message as Kirk King goes over to the bench to say, hey, we've got to get ourselves a good shot. Just get good position and let the ball come to you.
Third trip to the free throw line for Andrew Kolasovsky, and through the course of the season, if Rutgers has success, they have to get a double-digit performance from this guy right here, Andrew Kolasovsky.
Well, he's been delivering on many occasions, averaging about 13 a game, and you know, in league play 10.9. But I mean, overall, he's a guy that just bangs away inside, and they've got to get something inside because they get a lot from the perimeter.
Backcourt is solid. They need the production from up front. Yatkin back on the court for the Huskies, his second appearance of the night. He replaced Kirk King. Ray Allen on the bench right now as well. Carter doing a good job watching Sheffer.
Good pressure by Rutgers this time. Clark all over Knight.
Need to get a shot with 1 on the clock. It hits off the net and never touches the rim. Good defensive series by Bobby Wenzel. Scarlet Knights, they'll take it back with 46 seconds to play.
That was outstanding, and they need a basket here. They can get it to 10 or maybe 9 if they can hit a 3.
Hodgson to Clark.
Oh, a good effort by Rutgers to get themselves right back in the game, and we'll see if Connecticut, with the last shot of this first half, can go into the locker room with some momentum.
Rutgers has scored 8 unanswered points. And now the crowd gets back into the game. They started strong, they went into a lull, and now they are back.
Look for Sheffer to penetrate here and try to set the table either for himself or a teammate. Nice pass. Oh, and Yatkin not ready for that bullet.
Rutgers will get a last chance at it, down by 10. It would be quite a move here if they could cut it into single figures after trailing by 16 points.
Give it to Santiago and let him just go.
He will be fouled on his way up.
Santiago did the right thing there with 4.9 seconds. Enough time, obviously, to dribble the floor. He made a couple of huge threes late in the Seton Hall comeback that fell just short for Rutgers, but he did the right thing and he drew the foul. This could be a single-figure game going in at halftime. Nice job. Oh, great shift right there. There's the reach. Bobby Wenzel's got to be happy with the way his team has come back after going through a real tough stretch midway through the first half. Oh, and that's behind the three-point line, Tony. So big break here for Rutgers, and it'll just be a long heave by UConn.
Chance to make it a 7-point game.
Ooh, Jim Calhoun, we talk about that foul because it's behind a three-point stripe at halftime.
More at the buzzer. The Scarlet Knights with a solid run, an 11-0 run.
That first one, Tony, and that was a nice follow.
Ray Allen right to the rim, draws the foul.
Now it's a 5-point game right now, and Connecticut during this 18-game winning streak, you talk about consistency, being in charge. They have not trailed in the second half of any of those games, and if there's any telling statistic about really being on a roll, that's one of them.
So Ray Allen, who scored 14 points in the opening half, will step up to the free throw line. Besides being a marvelous player when it comes to scoring and three-point shooting and rebounding and stealing the ball, he is a superb foul shooter. 85% on the season. He is now 4 of 4 at the line tonight. UConn back on top by 7.
He's what you call the complete package. Here's the 2-2-1 three-quarter court press. Rutgers has done a pretty good job handling the pressure. They have not looked to attack much against this though.
Billett works out of the trap with a pass to Santiago. Tough scoop.
Love the way he can slither through the defense and follow it in.
So Santiago picks up where he left off. Now a dozen on the night. Travis Knight working inside.
I mentioned the first half, Connecticut, an excellent passing team. They'll be patient when they need the set, and they assist on about 65% of their baskets.
Sheffer left alone. Can't get the three to fall. Rebound to Ray Allen.
The offensive glass has really been UConn's tonight.
At 15 offensive rebounds in the first half.
You've got to convert when you get those offensive boards. Make the defense pay the price.
Allen finds Sheffer. On the rebound, gathered up by Hodgson, stolen by Sheffer and scoring.
Sheffer again finds a way. He's a terrific rebounder when he's following his own shot. Great steal that time.
Ronnie, they only had him on the stat sheet down for one steal at the end of the first half. I don't know about that, but that one certainly was a steal and a basket for Sheffer, who now has 15 on the night.
May not have given him credit on a couple where he got his hands on the ball, but he deflected. Thought it was more like 4 or 5 anyway.
Santiago again to the glass. Knight fights for the rebound, knocked off of Koldasovsky. And Travis Knight has been doing a great job on the glass tonight for UConn. 8 rebounds in the first half for Travis Knight.
I don't know if he always gets credit for the space that he takes up inside. He's 7 feet tall, and he really made that a difficult shot. And in fact, deflected it against Santiago. Nice defensive job by Travis Knight.
2.5 minutes gone by in the second half, and UConn maintaining a 7-point advantage.
Travis Knight is a real key to this Husky club as the season gets further and further advanced, that he can play with that thumb injury.
Ray Allen's three, too strong, and again the offensive rebound there for UConn with a fresh 35 on the clock.
Rutgers has got to box out better inside. Those long shots produce long rebounds.
Great ball movement, look at that. But again, unable to convert. And Rutgers will take it back, trailing 41-34. Here's Billick for three. And Clark comes over the back of Kleber. And that will be the third personal against Eric Clark, the sophomore from Rockford, Illinois. Final in from the US Air Arena, Georgetown has defeated West Virginia 91-67, and the ACC, Wake Forest, a 4-point winner over the Wolfpack tonight.
Tim Duncan and company, and the Hoyas rolled in that other one. I'm sure it was a lot of Mr. Iverson getting the job done again.
Sheffer, nice look inside. Kirk King rejected by Eric Clark again. Back-to-back rejections by Clark. However, Kirk King is finally able to put it down.
Boy, the front line for UConn, dominating play in the paint with second and third chances.
Hodgson has it stripped by Sheffer. Well, there's another case where he won't get the official steal, but he did strip. Now Allen, great body control. Can't get it to fall. Koldasovsky will control it.
Well, you won't see Ray Allen miss too many of those opportunities. UConn pushes the ball so quickly up the floor. Good matchup here with Ray Allen against Damon Santiago. Santiago's had the hot hand for Rutgers past 9 games.
And he hits over Ray Allen. Damon Santiago with 14 points. He is literally keeping Rutgers in the game.
He's been in double figures 9 games in a row. Had the hot hand.
Now Knight against Clark. And the rebound to Santiago. And in the backcourt, they will call the foul.
Santiago igniting the team right now. He's a kid who averaged 7 a year ago, so he's really turned it up a big notch, doubling that output. Good action on the boards, and there he is again.
The Scarlet Knights back to within 7, 15-19 remain. He has not missed a free throw in Big East competition this season.
Oh, we jinxed him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, see, he hasn't been in the rhythm of this game. He had the early fouls and all those kind of streaks. The key is to get that first one to go, and he's been on the bench, hasn't taken a lot of shots.
1 out of 2 for Jeff Billett, 91% free throw shooter on the season, and Rutgers back to within 6 now. Sheffer with a good look. Bangs it out. Second chance again for UConn. Hayward, though, can't control. They're going to call it travel, and Rutgers will take it back.
Once you get on the floor with the ball, you can't roll with it, and in the official's opinion, gain an advantage, which Hayward apparently did there. Some full court pressure now by UConn.
(43-37) with inside of 15 minutes to play.
Rutgers' strategy should just be to convert and to just hang around in this game. The longer they do, they'd love to put themselves in a position late. Oh, rainbow! Huh?
The freshman Billy Gilligan from beyond NBA range brings Rutgers to within 3.
He's up near the old hash mark, we used to call it, which was inside of midcourt. That was a bomb. They're into it here. The rack is alive.
Shot clock now inside of 10. Sheffer fouled on his way in. The basket will count, and the foul.
I mean, you talk about poise, coming up with the big shot. Daron Sheffer, that's the kind of leadership you need at that point. And I know from the past, being on the road, the crowd into it, the greatest thing you can do as a road team is get one to go down, and that tends to quiet things in the crowd.
Known as the Israeli Iceman in his home country, Daron Sheffer, like ice down the lane. Short on the free throw.
Barely caught the iron on that one. A rarity.
That's how it looked as though his arm was frozen, the Iceman.
Yeah, you very rarely see that kind of shot from Daron Sheffer. UConn man-to-man.
Carter. I don't know if that was intended for Clark, but he'll take it. They had Santiago in the corner. Clark intercepted the pass and scores his 8th point. And Rutgers back to within 3.
Rutgers executing very well right now at the offensive end.
A Rutgers team that enters the game just 5-11 on the season against a UConn team that has won 18 in a row.
And let's face it, UConn's coming off a 30-point victory against ACC foe Virginia. This is a game where, you know, Jim Calhoun knows that the longer that Rutgers hangs around, the more dangerous they become in their home court here.
Ray Allen, good look inside to Kirk King, who is fouled by Eric Clark. That is number 4 against Eric Clark.
That's a big foul because Clark and McCrimmon are athletic. They jump better inside, move better inside against this UConn front line. King doesn't get the easy one. Looks like Clark got popped on that play in addition to picking up the foul.
So Clark will go out with the 4 fouls with 13:05 to play. He's been replaced by Jason Moran. What a month of January Kirk King had for the Huskies. That's a month that I'm sure he wanted not to see come to an end. At one point, he made 22 straight field goals over a 3-game period against Villanova, Providence, and continued it for his first 3 shots against St. John's before his streak of 22 in a row came to an end.
Just an unbelievable streak. Everything he threw up went down. Nice catch.
Gilligan is pushed by Hayward. That will be the 3rd personal.
Bob Wenzel with a 3-guard lineup out there right now. A lot of pressure on Morange and McCrimmon to bang the backboards for Rutgers.
47-42. Connecticut led by 18 points in the opening half, and then Rutgers scored 11 unanswered to end the first half of play. They were down by 7 at the break, and they're down by 5. Now with 12:40 to play, the freshman Gilligan, too strong, and the rebound controlled by the freshman out of Augusta, Georgia, Ricky Moore.
He's a good-looking freshman, too. A lot of poise at the point. Oh, nice look.
Hayward slams it.
From who else? Daron Sheffer with the great look.
Santiago through the press. And they'll call a blocking foul. No, an offensive foul. Wait a second. They're going to talk about this one because official Rich Sanfilippo had a charge, and the other official along the baseline, Mike Kitts, was going to call a block, and they'll talk about it.
Well, it looks like Hayward is established there, but let's see how Jimmy Burrow went in there. Hayward looks like he's got pretty good position in front of Santiago that time.
Referee Jim Burr will signal the call.
A double foul being called.
Double foul.
First on Rutgers.
We've seen that called over the weekend as well, where 2 officials had different calls, double foul, and you go with the possession arrow.
Bob Wenzel seems to be agreeable.
You look for the defensive player to have what they call legal guarding position. Is he established in front there? And it looks like he is. One official said yes. One said, I see some movement with the hip. Double foul, UConn possession.
So UConn will take over, but Ronnie, more significantly on that one, for UConn, that's the 4th personal against Eric Hayward. For Santiago, just his 2nd.
Hayward's played well off the bench.
Allen working, floating, and scoring.
How about the hang time on that one, Tony?
He is beautiful to watch. Ray Allen now with 18 points, and the Huskies lead it by 9.
Why the NBA scouts love watching Ray Allen. You can see his game at the next level with those moves.
Santiago with a 3. Got it.
Tough shot.
Damon Santiago, who has averaged 19 points over the last 9 games, has scored 17. Knight can't hold it. Rutgers will take it back.
That's a case where Knight and King take the ball away from each other.
An official timeout with 11:26 to play. The Scarlet Knights continue to stay within distance.
If you were to take every...
Santiago again to step up, and he has.
He really has. He's got 17 in the game, a big 3 there over Travis Knight, and he's a guy with an extremely hot hand. UConn continues to struggle shooting the basketball in the second half, and Rutgers making the most of their opportunities.
So on the night right now, Rutgers shooting an average of 34% from the field for the season. They're hitting 48%. On the other side, Rutgers now hitting 60% of its shots here in the second half. They're just a 37% shooting team.
Yeah, they're really doing a good job, and they're handling pressure very well. Not a lot of turnovers, and UConn traditionally, throughout this season, will force their opponents in close to 20 turnovers a game. Not happening to Rutgers tonight. They've got a good backcourt. Oh, Kolbasovsky was open on the cut.
Last foul call went against Kirk King, his 2nd.
Nope.
Couple of freshmen out there right now for the Scarlet Knights is Kolbasovsky. Misses from 3, and a bad decision there by McCrimmon, who did not have the position. He commits the foul. Comes over the back, his 2nd person. 6th team foul against the Scarlet Knights. 10 minutes and 56 seconds remain.
Rutgers 2-possession game right now, down 6, and they've gone to a zone. 2-3 zone, they match up out of it. The jump shot should open up. Connecticut is an excellent passing team.
Wide open look. The freshman Jones can't get it to fall, but Travis Knight over the top of Kolbasovsky.
And Jim Calhoun's going to get Daron Sheffer back in quickly here to get him back at the point.
Sheffer, who has scored 17 points tonight and has just done an outstanding job in all the other capacities as far as stealing and assists and helping this UConn team, is back onto the floor. 6-point game. We had mentioned earlier that Rutgers has played several close games this season, coming up short in some key games. Once again, another opportunity for them as we approach the 10-minute mark. Kobosowski off balance. And King cannot control it. And Rutgers will have it back.
Tough shot by Kobosowski. Again, good interior defense by Knight. And Bob Wenzel, of course, he's a 1971 Rutgers grad. Gotta be pretty pleased that his team is hanging tough in this game.
McCrimmon gets Knight up, but Knight rejects the shot on the second chance. Now Sheffer.
Great recovery.
Allen's three not there. Kobosowski. And Rutgers comes back again, down by 6.
Sheffer was sniping again. Oh, the house is going to come down, I think, here if Rutgers can convert on this one. Rutgers keeping this game, too, from a tempo standpoint, into more of a half-court game right now. That's smart, too, because the clock works. Well, that's a walk.
Traveling violation will give it back to UConn as Kobosowski takes a walk towards the basket. Bob Wenzel's going to make a move here. Calculated risk. He'll put Eric Clark back onto the court with 4 personal fouls. Johnny McCrimmon, junior college transfer, who's 3 personals so far, will take the seat. So UConn has shot very poorly here in the second half. In fact, they are 0 of 6 from 3-point range, but the 2 goes.
Well, Ray Allen with his own follow. And a good idea by Ray Allen. The outside jumper not dropping right now. Get it to the basket. Follows his own miss.
Gilligan off balance.
Not a good shot that
Not
time.
at all. He ties up Kirk King, and they'll call the foul. So 2 bad decisions. Bad shot, bad foul, and Gilligan will take the seat.
Now, you've got to live with some of that with the freshman. Just didn't have a good look. Always anxious. You know, you're always anxious out there to try to recover, make up for it. Ooh, how about Notre Dame? How with the big win there, Tony?
Irish win it by 3 at the Garden.
Ooh.
As you see Rob Hodgson check in. You try to figure things out. St. John's beats Georgetown Saturday. Notre Dame loses at home to West Virginia. Notre Dame comes to the Garden tonight and wins over the Red Storm.
Well, let's face it, there are a lot of teams capable in the Big East of knocking each other off. Rutgers comes into this game 5-11, 2-6 in the league, and they're in a 9-point game. They've been hanging right around there with the 19-1, 9-0 UConn Huskies.
Kirk King doing a good job from the free throw line. He is 5 of 6 on the night, and UConn able to take a double-digit lead now.
Full court man pressure. Rutgers just goes into these droughts offensively where they just can't find answers in their half-court set. Better remain aggressive with the ball.
Clark on the turnaround. And once again, Kirk King is there to take the rebound.
Great leaper inside. He just keeps getting better in the paint.
So, Ronnie, even though UConn has not shot the ball well all night long, they have rebounded well. They've made their free throws, and that's been the difference in this game.
Now, this is a fundamentally sound team with a lot of balance, and they've also controlled the backboard.
Moore, tough shot, got it in the foul.
How did he get that one to go? That brought the UConn bench up. Ricky Moore, the freshman from Augusta, Georgia, finds a way on this one to get it done. He knows he's got the foul there, and he goes to his left with the English. Yeah, the reaction from his back on the hardwood.
That foul call against Rutgers' Eric Clark, and he is through. That is his 5th personal foul. It comes with 8 minutes and 18 seconds to play. Clark will finish the night with 8 points.
Clark played with a lot of intensity out there. Bob Wenzel with the pat. Much rather have Clark on the floor, but Clark really went after it with aggressiveness inside tonight for Rutgers.
They did a good job defensively as well. He finished up the night with 3 blocks. Kobosowski off the miss there for Moore.
Rutgers really needs one here. Santiago's been the guy that's been carrying them, and Rutgers right now not getting a lot produced inside down low.
Scarlet Knights have missed their last 5 shots. Santiago. Off the baseline, the Crimin is short. And Daron Sheffer controls for the Huskies now inside of 8 minutes to play. UConn 19-1 on the season, a perfect 9-0 in Big East Conference play.
This is a very solid UConn team that just rolls along. Contributions from a lot of people, and Allen and Sheffer always seem to be there.
Sheffer, good look at it, got it. That's the first 3 here in the second half for the Huskies. They had missed their first 6 from 3-point range. Hold it 2?
No, it was a 3. And you've got Sheffer and Allen both now 20 points apiece, Tony.
There you go.
Talk about leading the way. Nice move.
Billett can't get it to fall. Another rebound for Travis Knight, and he is approaching double figures in rebounds tonight.
Sheffer loves that pass with the head up. Tell you what, if you're on UConn's team and you're running the floor, and Sheffer's got to keep your head up.
Well, he started it with the rebound, and he finishes it on the other end. 8 points for Travis Knight, and a masterful job by UConn after this game had remained within the 3- and 5-point range. The Huskies quietly take that lead, now out to 17 points with 6:44 to play. Plenty of Big East Conference action coming up this weekend. We invite you to join us. It's Rutgers heading up to Providence to meet up with the Friars. Boston College plays at West Virginia. Those are both 2 o'clock starts. And in the noontime start, Notre Dame pays a visit to the Hoyas. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Connecticut on a 17-3 run over the last 7 minutes, and they have taken a 17-point lead. Saw Travis Knight there. And Knight now on the night, despite the bad thumb, Ronnie, 9 rebounds.
He's really played well, too. I mean, you know, you'd be concerned if you were a Connecticut fan or coach, teammates, if he was tentative out there, but he's played very aggressively.
Wide open shot, Kovalsowski cannot get it to fall. It will stay with Rutgers. And so while the Huskies have heated it up offensively, Rutgers has gone the opposite way, and they have gone scoreless over their last several trips into the front court.
It's been a game of scoring spurts, and Rutgers needs one of their own right now. See if they can make that last run at the Huskies.
Keep in mind, they were down by 18 points in the first half and went on an 11-0 run to close to within 7 at the break. So they'll try it once again, but they'll have to step it up on the defensive end.
Sheffer will start to work some clock at the offensive end here to get good ones.
Hodgson makes contact against Ray Allen, and the freshman picks up the foul. 9th team foul against the Scarlet Knights. Ray Allen will step up. And just as Rutgers has gone cold from the field, the crowd here in excess of 8,000 tonight has fallen almost like a church.
Well, they've gotten fired up a few times with the Rutgers runs in this game, but right now Connecticut has just been methodically pulling away. Allen again, you always look at the numbers at the end of the game, and he puts them up there in a very quiet, in the flow of the game kind of way. Doesn't force anything.
22 on the night for Ray Allen as he approaches his season average. 64-45, the largest lead of the night for UConn.
Threes are there. Rutgers has got to look for him. See, Connecticut does a good job, though, to put pressure on the perimeter.
Kovalsowski inside, banks it in. That's the first 2 points here in the second half for Kovalsowski, who had scored 7 in the first half.
It's so important to have that senior leader out there, the poised veteran. It's Sheffer for UConn. Ooh, Knight was open.
Allen with a 3 ball, bangs it in.
Why pass it in there, though, if you give it to Ray Allen for the trifecta, huh? Tough player.
3rd 3-pointer of the night for Allen. He now has 66 threes on the season, and as you might think, that is the best in the Big East Conference.
Yeah, there aren't too many offensive categories that Ray Allen is not leading in the Big East this year.
Here's Billett. Another rebound for Knight. He's got 10 of those on the night now. Billy Gilligan, who will provide a three-point threat for the Scarlet Knights, back on as Johnny McCrimmon takes a seat next to Bob Wenzel.
Well, right now for UConn, run your offense, execute. You know you're going to have to do that as you continue to play in Big East play. Take some time off the clock and try to get a high percentage shot. See if they find Ray Allen again off the screen.
Shot clock down to 2, and Hayward inside makes contact. And that's going to be it for Eric Hayward. He will pick up his 5th personal foul with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to play. He'll finish the night with 5 points and those 5 fouls. Well, tonight's Big East Conference game is a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of any or all of this game without the express prior written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited. Tony Caridi along with Ron Perry from the Rutgers Athletic Center, where the UConn Huskies saw their 18-point first-half lead trimmed down to 7 at the break. Rutgers stayed within striking distance for about the first 12 minutes of this second half, but since then they have taken control and now lead it 67-49. Ray Allen, Barone, Sheffield, Rudy Johnson, Kurt King, and Travis Knight. 5 on the floor for UConn. That's their same 5 that started the game.
Jim Calhoun's used a lot of combinations. The UConn depth on the bench has also been a factor in this one.
Sheffer, another 3.
Well, he's really not only put the points up in this game, but just shot selection. He's been all over the floor. Great floor game for Sheffer.
It's almost as if Sheffer gives Allen a great pass and he scores on it, a couple plays later, it's almost as Allen looks for Sheffer to return the favor.
Hey, you gave me one. I'm going to just return that pass to you.
Tonight, Sheffer and Allen have combined for 48 of UConn's 70 points. We've got a timeout here at the rack. 3:29 to play. Connecticut cruising to a victory. Time now to introduce you to our Ford player of the game, and it's UConn's standout senior guard, Daron Sheffer, who tonight drains 5 3-pointers. 23 points on the night for Daron Sheffer to go along with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and it seems countless deflections, which led to steals and an overall superb performance from Sheffer.
He's been the catalyst.
Andrew Kolasowski with 11 points on the night.
The thing about Sheffer is he can really control the game. He makes the passes, makes the big shots, and right now he's working the clock, and his teammates look for him. He definitely has a radar screen out there to be able to find his backcourt mate too, Ray Allen. See if he can get him here.
Barone instead will fire, and Travis Knight is contacted and knocked to the court. He'll have a couple of shots coming up.
The Knights really mixed it up tonight. Played sparingly in the last ball game against Virginia. The thumb injury in the Syracuse game, a couple of screws put in that thumb, and I'll tell you what, he's done a good job. A couple of times he did have trouble with the handle, but evidently they've cut down on that padding, and he's really mixed it up on the boards. It's mostly those quick moves inside where he's had a couple of times having trouble control it, but doesn't affect his shooting hand at all. Nice touch.
And with another shot here, he'll have a double-double on the night, and he does. 10 points to go along with 10 rebounds for Travis Knight.
Well, for UConn fans, that's one of the biggest pluses of the night, that he's out there contributing in the middle. Again, season progresses. They're going to need Travis Knight right in that paint area.
Hudson floats it in. He's got 7 points.
He's playing more and more minutes for Rutgers, and that's what Rob Hodgson needs, the freshman transfer from Indiana. His minutes, confidence. He's shown some good moves out here tonight.
Take a look at the floor right now. They've got 3 freshmen out there for Rutgers. So certainly the future looks bright for the Scarlet Knights. Sheffer hacked on his way towards the basket. They'll call it against Damon Santiago. That will be his 3rd. So with win number 19 in a row secured here in 2 minutes and 8 seconds. What's up next for UConn over the next 6 games? Well, Saturday they'll be at the Garden to take on the Red Storm. Follow that up with a game against Providence. As you saw there at the end of the schedule, they have those dates coming up against Villanova and Georgetown late in the season.
Could make for a great finish, huh?
Yeah. Perhaps a preview of what we'll see in the Big East tournament towards the final rounds. Sheffer now has come out of the game for UConn as we approach the 2-minute mark. Another board for Travis Knight.
Clearing the glass for UConn. So it's been a game effort by Rutgers here tonight. They came out firing, a couple of good runs, closed that half tight. It's a 7-point game, and they were really in this game right until the 10-minute mark of the second half, but just didn't have enough weapons to go up against UConn. Jerome Sheffer and Ray Allen again, just dynamite tonight.
Sheffer finishes up with 25 points. Travis Knight now finishes up on the bench with 10 points and 11 rebounds. 90 seconds to play, 74-53 UConn. Some late points for Andrew Kolbasovsky. He really was not a factor though, Ron, through the key points of this second half.
Now he tried to get some things done inside, but with some size disadvantages. Jeff Billett getting an early foul trouble hurt Rutgers. He's got 1 point in the game. He's been playing very well for Rutgers, and he just didn't get into the flow offensively. And not enough overall scoring from numbers of people for Rutgers.
Allen, kick pass back. We've got a whistle and an offensive foul will be called. First personal on the night, charged to Ray Allen. And he'll head over to the bench now and call it a night's work. He'll finish up with 25 points. Other action tonight, we saw Notre Dame pull off the win at the Garden against St. John's. Georgetown by West Virginia. Cincinnati also on top over UNC Charlotte. Billett pulls up with a 3. Inyatkin dragged down by Kolbasovsky, and Inyatkin will walk to the other end. He'll have a 2-shot foul coming up. Rutgers over the 10-team foul limit.
Yeah, UConn marches on, and another game will go by where they do not trail in the second half. So that'll be a 19-game win streak for UConn and Jim Calhoun. And they got a little close in this second half. I think the game got down to, what, 3 or 4 points at one point, Tony. But Connecticut just so potent offensively.
There's big Pete Kane, the walk-on, onto the floor for the Huskies. Well, Ray Allen tonight, 25 points, and the exact point total of his backcourt mate, Jerome Sheffer. So Allen and Sheffer pick up 50 of the Huskies' 75 points.
Another great game for Allen. He just gets it done.
Gilligan into double figures now with 11 on the night.
He's a good-looking young player as well. He hit a couple of long rainbows, good size.
Jones all the way to the basket.
Got into the box score with that one.
Gilligan floats in there, and now Gilligan with 9 second-half points, and Pete Kane will pick up the offensive foul.
Didn't know his strength on that one.
Unintentional there.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, Pete said, whoops, I'm sorry about that.
Good sportsmanship.
And Kane thought he was going to be taken out of the lineup there by Jim Calhoun. Instead, it was Inyatkin who was taken out. Wasowski with the 3. Not there, and final 10 seconds now. Ostermel Jones clears it into the front court. Ricky Moore. Glaber controls, but he's out of bounds. 1 tick remains, 77 to 59. The UConn Huskies pick up their 20th victory of the season. UConn is now 20-1 overall and a perfect 10-0 in conference play. We'll be back to the Rutgers Athletic Center after these messages.